Stand by, everybody. Ben Fail likes to come out fast and firing. Omar Rodriguez will know that. Can he take evasive action?
Time's out. Round 1.
5 straight knockout victories for Ben Fail, stepping up to 8-round class for the first time at super welterweight against the Panamanian Omar Rodriguez. And it is a fast start. Fail took a few there. Rodriguez has done his homework, Richie.
Yeah, he's just managed to get close there and just land a couple of shots himself. I think Fail early on, just keeping those, concentrating on those straight shots. Because there, I mean, Rodriguez just give us a glimpse that he's probably fairly capable up close, Paul, and that's where he'll want to be. And if Ben Fail, you know, chooses a short and mid-range battle, then yeah, he's in for one, most certainly.
Fail very tall for the weight, 6'1", towering over his man here. Very capable fighter. Again, the age is just ticking along. There are various reasons why that is the case, but we are talking about a young man of 27, still young man, only his 7th pro fight tonight.
Ben and his brother Carl, very skillful southpaws. I think they're both at the same weight as well.
Yeah.
And box very similar. Very well schooled, worked well behind their jab. And I remember certainly Carl up at GB, he was a cracking boxer, he really was, very skillful indeed. But Ben also, didn't see too much of Ben up at GB, but I heard some really good things about him, and it's like a spitting image, literally, not only the looks, but the way they box. Very, very similar. If anything, probably Ben takes the odd risk a little bit more than what Carl does. Carl is more of a mid to long range boxer. But Ben, as we see, steps inside and he likes to mix it up occasionally, look, with those bent arm shots there. But by doing that, then there's a risk element as well. So just got to watch what he's doing here, because as I say, I think Rodriguez prefers that type of battle here. He won't fancy trying to outbox Ben Fail at distance. He'll want to get up close here.
Let's not overlook Rodriguez coming off a great victory in Coventry in June. Beat the Midlands area champion Ashley Eales from Nuneaton. Eales was previously 10-0. And he looks capable in his own right, doesn't he? And at least now, Richie, Ben Fail has realised that, settled down and started to box to your order, really, straight.
Yeah, exactly. Those straight shots, you see, just seen an example there of Rodriguez just coming over his front foot and just falling short, and that's because he's being outboxed at distance, and that's what Ben Fail's got to do here, just frustrate the opponent, make him come to you and bring him onto the shot.
Lottoland Casino sponsors boxing on TNT Sports.
At Mr. Q, you win some, you lose some. Benidorm!
MrQ.com, the shockingly good casino.
Lottoland Casino sponsors boxing on TNT Sports.
Straight body and left hook up. Right hook up, sorry.
A lively opener to this one, Richie.
Yeah, it started, this is probably the first 30, 40 seconds, so Ben Fail is really going for it, but so is his opponent. And so Rodriguez landed with a couple of shots, and that brings him into it, Paul. Short and mid-range look, and he's been successful, and he's a bit wild in swinging, so that wasn't a bad start, was it, for both of them?
Quite a contrast to how Fail actually settled down and started to look the part as a boxer from the outside. But Rodriguez looks a handful, and it looks like he's come to win. 15 victories in his pro career out of 35 before tonight.
And Rodriguez obviously sensing that he's just a little bit too far out. That's why he's keeping that guard nice and high and just thinking of how to get forward and draw. You see, drawing Ben Fail into that type of battle. There you go, he's just urging him on there, you can see him. But Fail, he's scoring with some good shots as well, but it's a 50-50 ball in these situations.
Two gunslingers colliding. The man who dropped first was Rodriguez, but there wasn't much in it.
Yeah, you're right, Paul. And Rodriguez urging Fail to come forward, but Fail really believes that he can get the finish here.
All-out assault from Ben Fail in this second round. Remember the recent run of success, the early knockout victories. He's going looking for another one. All of his last four have ended inside 3 rounds. He thinks he's made the big breakthrough, maybe more psychological than anything else, Richie, with Rodriguez touching down.
I think he feels as well that Rodriguez may not have recovered fully, Paul. That's why he looks just a little bit jittery on the legs, does Rodriguez. And that's why Fail is still going for it. He's taking risks, but he's going for big shots. Deciding to go on power. He's got to watch the head clashes though, Paul. See a little bit of a mark above Fail's right eye. That's due to the heads clashing, no question.
That calm and ordered 2-minute spell in the first round feels a long time ago in this fight.
Yeah. You see Rodriguez just urging Fail to come forward because he knows he's got no chance at range. He's just being picked off. The only chance he's got is if he draws Ben Fail in, and then it's a toe-to-toe battle and he can land the odd shot, and he's just going to hope that he lands a real big punch here.
Blood from the nose of Fail shouldn't be too much of a problem. The real problem is that Rodriguez knows his job, doesn't he, Richie? And now he seems finally to have sorted himself out of the shock of touching down and taking the count.
Yeah, he's weathered the storm, hasn't he? At one point I didn't think he'd recovered, but now he seems to have got through it. And I think Fail, for how tall he is, he works very well with this left uppercut on the inside, Paul. It's a little short punch, you don't see it. That's lovely there with that jab. And there's that little left uppercut again on the inside, and it's done the trick there.
Fail brought it on again, but needs to be very careful on the inside. What a round.
What a round that was.
Martin Barra's in the corner.
Yeah, incredible stuff here, both going for it, and Carl Fail, as Rodriguez just touches down. There was some action before that where he actually caught Fail with a good shot there, but walks onto that short little left hand there. That was a cracking punch indeed from Fail. It made Rodriguez hit the deck. Rodriguez trying to keep his distance there, but Fail realises that his opponent may have not recovered. Right up to the body there, that was a good shot indeed. But Rodriguez is still in it.
Give him straight leg. After give him hook, yeah?
Second out.
2 rounds back and forth. Rodriguez has touched down. I guess we could venture to suggest that Ben Fail is in front, but nobody's jumping to conclusions in this one.
Just got to get back to his boxing a little bit, Paul, here, behind that jab, and just set things up. So, I think, like we said, Rodriguez is in the battle when it comes toe-to-toe, and then it becomes sort of a 50-50 affair. And fair play to Fail, he's landed the better shots on the inside. But you're just giving your opponent a chance to land the odd shot. So take less risks. Work behind the jab first, and then set up that left uppercut and left up like the corner wanted. Just, that's better. Look, there you go. Working with the jab and then bringing the left uppercut through the middle. That's sensible boxing. That's what I'd like to see a little bit more of from Ben Fail.
Am I allowed to say, though, that I love his fighter's mentality? You know what I mean by that?
Well, that's it. But it's an exciting contest, isn't it?
1 or 2 have gone a bit low there, but that's likely to happen.
That's what I like, Paul, setting up things with the jab, and there you go, bringing that left uppercut through like we spoke about.
Brilliant. Rodriguez took some big shots, continues to take the big shots, trying to walk through the storm.
He's nearly gone, Rodriguez here. He just needs another good shot on him. What a brave guy, though. And he's literally said to Fail, well, come on then, let's go. Toe-to-toe stuff. Fale might just be feeling just the pace a little bit.
Don't blame him, Richie.
Yeah,
he looks like he's gone 10 hard rounds at top level.
Absolutely. But Rodriguez really went, he threw everything into that attack, and was on the receiving end. A couple of good punches.
Do many believe this will go 8 at this moment? I doubt it.
This is it, Paul. Now's the time now. Just again, work back to the jab and just work for the openings. Don't let the opponent too close. That's what Ben Fale should be doing here, using that height and reach. You can see Rodriguez being outboxed at distance, and that's why he wants Fale to come forward. He's not going to win the contest there. So it's sensible work now from Fale.
Slightly different feel to this chapter. Bit more ordered again now, Fale. There may be another outbreak of infighting any second. Don't look away, folks. That left is a beautiful, beautiful shot when it lands.
Yeah.
Remember in the corner, Richie, they were telling him to turn it over. He's got 2 varieties, and there's a 3rd variety to the solar plexus with that left hand.
Yeah, that little left uppercut, we spoke about it earlier, didn't we? It doesn't travel very far. It's a great shot. What a good round again.
Hard to hear the bell, but that is 3 downs, 3 very eventful rounds.
Lottoland Casino sponsors boxing on TNT Sports.
Betfair's gaming time check tool lets you set a reminder to take a break. Go on then, stick on the kettle. Safer gambling tools from Betfair.
Lottoland Casino sponsors boxing on TNT Sports.
At the moment, it's suiting, you know what I mean? Because you're sitting in, what you're doing is you're putting your foot on the inside of his foot. That's why they can't get a body shot. So get back behind the jab, get on the outside of his foot, find him, and then what we've got to do, we've got to find him with more than a stick.
I'll come to you in a moment, Richie. From ringside, twin brother Carl. Ben Fale is the older boy by 1 minute. The twins, both are making their way in the pro game. Now 27 years of age. This has been a very eventful evening so far for Ben Fale. What about the words from Martin Bowers in the corner, Richie?
Very sensible indeed. Get back behind your jab and keep your foot basically on the outside of his, because that brings him onto your left hand, you see. So he's got to move more to his right as Ben Fale, and that's what Martin Bowers wants. But he wants him to work more behind that shot there, that jab. See, that will frustrate the opponent to make him come forward. If he comes forward, he walks onto the shot. It's quite simple. So you keep probing and popping that jab and box at distance. Rodriguez is really struggling. You see, he's launching the attack from way far out, launching in. So that's what you've got to watch out for, and just catch him as he's coming forward.
Down. Not going to count as a knockdown.
No, he just threw everything into that right hand and was just totally off balance and swung round. But it just shows you that the power he's trying to land, he's trying to hit Ben Fale with. See, and Rodriguez is now trying to get his foot on the outside, so his corner's probably telling him, you've got to put your foot on the outside, bring him onto your backhand. So clever tactics from both corners, really, you can see it. But I'd just like to see Ben Fale just, keep him at distance for now. And listen to Martin Bowers behind that jab, and then it'll come, that left hand will come, will obviously follow that right hand lead. Nice.
Not a lot of any consequence landing from Rodriguez so far in the round, but of course even the words coming out of my mouth, I'm saying don't rule it out. And now finally in the last minute, knowing that it was the last minute of this round, Rodriguez tries to turn up the wick again.
Fair play to Rodriguez. He's obviously sensed that Ben Fale just slowed down a little bit, and he's caught Fale with a couple of good shots there. A lesson to be learned from Fail there. Got to keep working with the jab, but there's also his ring craft. Got to stay out of those corners, stay off the ropes, stay central position, and then you've got full range of movement. As soon as you go on those ropes in the corner, your feet come square, then you become, you know, your movement's restricted and your target's full onto the opponent. So that's where he does his best boxing, from that centre.
So not so many explosive moments in this as we head toward halfway. 4 rounds now complete, but an interesting back and forth it was.
Lottoland Casino sponsors boxing on TNT Sports.
Save 25% off selected mattresses in the Simba August Bank Holiday Sale.
Lottoland Casino sponsors boxing on TNT Sports.
Get the work straight, do the movements, step off, come round, he'll come round and you go underneath. It's all work that you can do.
Yeah, good work. Movement. Don't stay. Don't go corner, please. Movement. Don't stay with him. Don't need to fight.
Don't let him hit the last bit of the round.
I'm not qualified to interrupt. Over to you, Richard.
Yeah, again, good coaching. And what's good to see in the corner, they're nice and calm. There's no panic. They know what he's got to do. It's just him carrying out the tactics now. And not, well, you heard it yourself, don't get dragged into a toe-to-toe battle. Keep those punches long and straight. Keep moving around to your right, and then now and again just whip one downstairs. And he's talking about that left uppercut as he comes round onto that shot.
Yes, the phrase that Martin Bowers actually used, well, I think we were off air at the moment. He said, he'll always be there for you.
Yeah.
Rodriguez in bursts in that last round still looks more than lively and more than dangerous.
Very dangerous. He's very dangerous if, you know, you lose concentration and then you start boxing it short and mid-range and holding your feet, and then he's brought right into it. It's a 50-50 affair then. And fair play to Rodriguez in that last round. I think he, like I said, he sensed that the work rate had just dropped from Fail and he stepped it up. So, yeah, Fail's in a hard fight here, and he's got to stay disciplined, listen to that corner. It's a classic case, Paul. You could make this quite easy for yourself, or you could make it very, very difficult if you get it wrong.
Cannot get out of the way of that jab, Rodriguez. No. Outreached.
And if you keep popping that jab like that, Paul, hitting the target, at some point Rodriguez is going to think, right, I'm being outboxed here, I've got to go forward here. Oh, look, there you go, right on cue. He knows then he's got to come forward, you see, if he keeps being being picked off with that jab. So it's just basic boxing. Positive mindset and just keep the work going, confident in your long-range work, and the opponent will come to you. Then you can bring him onto your better shots, which is the backhand, but it's all set up with the lead hand, frustrating the opponent and making him come. At situations like this, one left uppercut maybe through the middle, then you move again and go back to distance, and you start the process all over again.
With elbows on the apron, left of screen as we look right now, John Daly, the coach from Northampton, who's played such a big part in the development of both Ben Fail and his brother Carl. I think he likes the boxing version of Ben Fail that we're seeing just at this moment.
And this is why it's important, Paul, also for that movement to be circular, going around the opponent rather than going back. Because if Rodriguez senses that he's slowing things down and getting picked off, that's a lovely shot. What he'll try and do is push him back to the ropes, and if you're going back in straight lines, then you're encouraging him to come forward, and it's a different contest. Keep the movement going, don't concede, go around him.
Now you're beginning to box his ears off. What we've got to do at the end of the round, I know it's a losing, but I'm saying keep the centre of the ring, so I don't want him pushing onto us at that last bit of the round. It's okay. So what you do, you're going to come round, in the end of the round, round, you know when it is, and you take the centre of the ring, and then you just jab, yeah? And you keep breaking him up. Yeah? That's how you win the fight, yeah?
I have the sense, Richie, that they're feeling a bit more assured than they were after the first and second rounds.
Come on, keep breaking him up, yeah?
Yeah, they know the tactics, and they know exactly what they're doing.
When you're going tall, when you come out, a couple of times you come out, you're too big. Don't come too big. He'll gamble, he'll pitch out. Don't do that.
Interesting what he said there as well about at the end of the round, just get back to the centre of the ring because he comes on strong. Don't let him push you back to the ropes, basically.
So over to Omer Rodriguez. We have the sense that he's falling behind in terms of the scoring, and sure enough, he comes out at the start of this 6th round to try to rectify matters.
Yeah, and fair play to him. He's having a go again. This is when you've got to just step off, use the jab, get back to the centre. See, Rodriguez has loved this.
Bale taps the gloves together as if to say to himself, I need to get going a bit here.
It's interesting now, Paul, the mindset of Fale. Is he going to listen to the corner, or is he just going to take things on his own and think, right, I can beat this fella at short and mid-range and have a battle with him? That's a big risk. You may still fancy his chances there because he punches with a lot of quality, does Fale. But like I say, you are taking risks and you're bringing your opponent into it. Got to stay disciplined here. Look, simple shots like that, lovely. Just a straight jab and then move.
Not thrown a lot, though, has he, Rich, in this round? Fale. Rodriguez has found the target almost at will. Not saying they're all power shots, but it is a slight momentum shift in this round. And remember, Fale now entering relatively uncharted waters in terms of the distance in this fight.
Yeah, this is a fairly good round for Rodriguez.
It is.
You've got to give him credit. The job's made easier for him when Fale's actually taking him on toe-to-toe. But nevertheless, Rodriguez started the round strongly, and he's continuing that.
Almost as though in the Rodriguez corner, they said, listen, this is beyond where Fale has been before. Remind him right from the get-go in this round, showing that the hardest rounds are still ahead. This has been a hard round so far.
Decent shot there from Fale, that left uppercut to the body, that wasn't a bad shot at all. And again, Rodriguez just throwing, isn't he, on the inside, anything. And if the opponent's there holding his feet, then he's in business.
Fale's fans are urging him to rally late in this round.
Just keep the punches straight, Ben, that's what he's got to do here. Straight shots and the odd left uppercut occasionally. He's decided to take him on here, and Rodriguez, we've said, had a fairly decent round, but I think he's weathered it now as Fale, but it's been a decent round for Rodriguez.
That's Fale back to his best work, but Rodriguez walks through that one. Volume of shots, output of shots, clearly Rodriguez in this round.
I cannot believe, Paul, he's not sitting down. I just find that incredible. That's one tough coach, that is. Wow.
Proper hard fight this, both ways.
Yeah, I thought this was a decent round for Rodriguez. He started the round pretty strong. I thought Fale really got to grips with it towards the end of the round, but nevertheless, I thought Rodriguez's volume of punches was better from him, and he dragged Ben Fale into that toe-to-toe battle.
Round 7.
The hardest part of this may still be ahead. Remember, never over 8 rounds before tonight, Ben Fale. 6th round, Rodriguez certainly put Fale under pressure. Mentally now, Richie, perhaps the testing part of this fight for Fale.
Yes, it is a test physically and mentally, but I think now I'd like to see Ben Fail get back to his boxing, listen to his corner a little bit. He made things a little bit difficult in that last round because he held his feet and decided to trade, and Rodriguez had the better of it for my money. So we know Ben can box better than that, mid and long, and that's what he's got to get back to, most certainly, I think. Yeah, that's better. I don't think he's been into the 7th round, Paul, has he?
No, he
before?
hasn't. No, you're quite right.
Ben Fail.
Certainly never been in a fight like this, Richie, one way or the other.
No. That's it, yeah. And he's just working with that jab, but you should expect Rodriguez just to fly forward at some stage. So just keep working with the jab and wait for that attack, and then adjust your feet and then bring him onto the backhand. There you go, look, see, you know he's going to come forward at some stage if he just keeps getting hit with that jab. And that's what you have to do in these situations.
Rodriguez gave a little bit of ground. There was a nice shot to the body from Fail. The box from the outside for the first 2 minutes, or just about that, in this round. Threatening to come to closer quarters again now.
He's a fairly deceiving fighter, though, I would say, Rodriguez, Paul. Sometimes he looks out on his feet, and yet he just comes back and he puts a little spurt together, and you think, well, where's that energy come from? He finds it from somewhere, so all credit to him. At times sometimes he looks out on his feet, but then he just regains the energy levels, come back, and away he goes again. So fair play to him. Seasoned.
Knowing pro in every sense. There's a little bit of a nick to his left eye. Shouldn't be a problem for Rodriguez, but that's a target that Fail will hope to exploit. Maybe put a bit of doubt into the mind of somebody who's been around for a long time and has fought a very good fight on his own terms so far tonight, Rodriguez.
Yeah, that was a belting shot there from Fail. Just slipped to his right and then threw that left hand right down the middle. One of the best shots of the round, to be quite honest. There it is again, you see.
Both trying to shade it with the big exchange to the end of the round. Fail is enjoying this, but maybe enjoying it a bit too much, if you know what I mean.
Try like a steam train now, but listen, you can jab and move and win this round on your own. Or you go out looking, trying to look smart and get clipped. What are we going to do? Not smart. Well then, let me see you do that. Come on, come on. I need all the quality now. I need all the years of quality, yeah? Thank you. You've got to show me that now.
Punching, move. Don't stay in front of him, please. Yeah? Punching, move. 1, 2, 3, move. Jab, move.
Don't get carried away.
Jab and move. Don't get in a fight.
Last little bit, do me a favour, just nick the centre of the ring. Yep. Yeah, come from out of the centre of the ring.
There you go, Paul. We've been saying it for a while now, but this, you know, the opponent's going to come like a steam train now. So it's important to stay in that centre of the ring, keep the punches long and straight, and use the jab.
Referee Bates brings them together. 7 hard rounds have gone by. We have reached the final round. That didn't look likely after 2 rounds, I must say. Fail in patches boxing extremely well, but all too often drawn into a scrap. Sometimes, when it comes to close quarters, he's prevailed. Other times, Rodriguez has come out on top. And altogether, Martin Bowers would prefer him to get up, grab the centre of the ring, Rich, and box around his man for the next 2.5 minutes.
Little side steps and plenty of movement and keep the punches nice and straight. And if he does come forward and comes over that front foot, use the odd left uppercut. But now he should move, you see. Back, when you feel you're back on the ropes, when you're a much taller fighter, just move straight away. Shoot off to the side and then get back to the centre of the ring and start the process again. But it's important with the jab, the movement here, little side steps, up on his toes, and give no indication that you're struggling in terms of, I don't think he's struggling actually in terms of the pace of the contest, but don't give your opponent anything. Don't give him a whiff that you might be tiring at all. Just keep that movement going with that jab, that's better.
Has Rodriguez got one big last assault in him tonight? It's possible.
Yeah, he's a dangerous kid, isn't he? When he's up close, then he lets everything go and just goes for it. Fair play to him. And they've got a good chin as well, Paul, because Fail has hit him with some real good punches. Hurt him downstairs a couple of times, but look at him here. And this is where he's got to move now, Fail.
In his own corner, they want him out of there. Fail claims his man.
You heard Martin Bowers saying that corner, you can make it easy for yourself here, or you make it hard, like we spoke about earlier. Hit a move, keep the punches straight.
We've seen enough to know that there could yet be a twist in this tale. It's not a done deal for Ben Fail. Rodriguez seeking to keep pouring on the pressure.
Yeah, that's nice. A little bit of composure now with that jab, that straight left hand. Rodriguez is going to come forward. It's been a hard 8-rounder, Paul, hasn't it?
I'll say.
It's been a tough 8-round contest, this has.
Last few seconds then, toe-to-toe to the very finish. Taking a lot of risk. Ben Fail has got to hope he gets the reward for all that with the way he's fought in this one. Omar Rodriguez more than played his part. Rodriguez thinks he's won it. Martin Bowers goes to embrace Rodriguez for a fine showing from the opponent, but has young Mr. Fail got it done? Or has he taken a few too many risks the way he's tried to do it?
Incredible last round and incredible last 20 seconds, wasn't it? Ben Fail, entertainment right the way through, and decided to really stand toe-to-toe and try and finish the contest really strong with that, brought Rodriguez into it, who I think he was in it all the way, wasn't he, Rodriguez? As soon as Fail decided to stand and trade, then Rodriguez had success here and there. Fail himself, I thought, when he boxed behind his jab and the long straight work that he did, yeah, excellent stuff. I thought he hurt Rodriguez a couple of times downstairs also, but he was caught with some big punches himself throughout this contest. And this, the last sort of 20 seconds or so, was really thoroughly entertainment, but it's a 50-50 affair. It's who can land the shots there. Fail lands a good one, and again, and probably just had the better of it at this exchange here. But thoroughly entertaining right the way through, and for someone who hasn't gone 8 rounds before, Ben Fail will have learned a lot from that, Paul. That was unbelievable.
Here's Dev Sani with the verdict.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 8 rounds of boxing, your referee Mark Bates scores the contest 77-74 to your winner, Big Ben.
Ben Fail has got it, but Ben Fail had to work very hard for that. 3 points in it on the cards, and of course, maybe in terms of rounds, slightly closer, because there was obviously a 2-point margin